Welcome to the MineSanity podcast. What's up, guys? My name's Eric, aka Azrael Eternity, and welcome to the MineSanity podcast. Normal cast, I guess, is what it's going to be now. It's going to be myself, Brave, and Banjo.
Hi there.
Once again, it's just the three of us, but we're recording on a Tuesday, so we're all in the mindset of the podcast.
Or at least we would hope.
Yeah, we'll see by the end of this how it turns out. So, changing the format a little bit, there's a bunch of things that I saw articles for that I wanted to comment on, but not really have a full blown out discussion. So we're going to have a section that is called Honorable Mentions, which are basically the topics that we thought were interesting, but weren't going to really talk a whole lot about. It's just more, here's news, sort of thing.
And for those of you who can't see this, everything today is in honorable mentions. Just everything.
Well, no, I just didn't name the other section.
Well, you should probably. Okay, non-honorable mentions being named right as I speak. Okay.
Yeah, I can't spell. Deal with it.
Can't. Sorry, I misspelled it right after you did. So, honorable mentions, starting off. Barkham. Wow. We're just full of fail today. Batman Arkham Origins is set to come out October 25th of this year, making it the third game in the Batman series, or the Batman Arkham series, rather, and it's set as a 2-year window for each launch. And the reason that I wanted to mention this is because Call of Duty, for each studio that does it, Treyarch and is it still Infinity Ward that does one of them? I can't remember.
I know.
They do their games every 2 years, and I did not play the full games of Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. However, of the people that I know that have played it, everybody said it was probably one of the greatest Batman games. And
yeah, that's the general consensus.
Yeah, and I did play the demo for Arkham Asylum, and I thought it was a load of fun for just the little that I played for it. Plus, watching a bunch of the Easter egg sort of videos and people doing let's plays
quite
of it.
A few of them.
Yeah, they did a lot of Easter eggs. I mean, not to be compared with like Halo, which is probably Easter egg central for a lot of stuff, or Gears of War. Gears of War does a lot of Easter eggs, but they did a lot. And normally, people complain about such a short dev cycle, putting a game out every 2 years. But the general consensus so far is the first 2 Batman games have been very good.
As long as it's a good game, doesn't matter how long it takes to make it, in my opinion.
Yeah. But the point that I'm getting at is, okay, Call of Duty churns out, each developer churns out a game every 2 years. And they don't seem to do a whole lot of changes in it. Whereas
Batman, get new guns, new maps. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, and so I'm just trying to figure out, okay, is 2 years really a good dev cycle for a game like Batman where you have a full-blown story inside of the game? Call of Duty is essentially the same recycled garbage. Sorry, Activision. We'll talk about you guys later. But just opinions on a 2-year dev cycle for a game, in a series of games.
It seems to be working out, honestly, but
time will tell.
That's my thoughts. Yeah.
I think that it depends on who does it. Like as you said, Activision doesn't do it very well. New guns, new maps, that's it. But for Batman, obviously people really like that. So yeah. Words.
For clarification, just so everybody knows that's listening, the Batman games are produced by Rocksteady Studios in association with Warner Brothers Interactive. So I wasn't sure what I wasn't sure what company produces the Batman games. So in case you were curious, Rocksteady Studios.
Yeah, I had no idea either.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Speaking of evil Activision, good guy Activision put up $2 million of its own money for the Call of Duty Endowment. They did a event in the past month or so that they were selling premium dog tags for some of their games, some of the Call of Duty games. I think it was pretty much Black Ops 2. And all of the funds for sales of those dog tags went directly towards the Call of Duty Endowment. If you guys are unfamiliar with Call of Duty Endowment, it is a fund, a nonprofit organization that is aimed at helping veterans of military service find jobs after their term of service is completed.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, good guy
So wait,
Activision.
it's a war video game company
That's
doing
help.
stuff for
That's
people who went to war.
exactly.
Yes.
Brand new, everyone praised them. Everyone.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
like
not really that new, is it?
no,
But,
it's been around. I think Call of Duty Endowment has been around since I think
2009 or
2009.
2009 rather.
Yeah, since about '09, but they just recently did this event, and the community, the gaming community as a whole, raised $1.7 million, and Activision put up another $2 million. So a total of $3.7 million going into the Call of Duty Endowment to help military service members that are coming out of.
That's quite nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, for once they did something right.
yeah. So good guy Activision.
Yeah.
Good guy
Uh,
Activision, except for when they go back to the video game market.
yeah.
But I'm.
But I mean, on the topic of buying those little things, I mean that's a good way of raising money for charity is give somebody something that is
Cheap.
essentially it's you paying the cost of putting it into the game, but I mean once you have it, you don't have any operational cost of distributing it. 343 Studios is going to be doing microtransactions in the Halo franchise.
Yeah.
They're going to be doing the same sort of thing with that games like Tomb Raider and Gears of War all are currently doing, which is having microtransactions for flashier accessory, which to me kind of defeats the purpose of, because Halo has a lot of challenge sort of things that you get bonus experience, and you complete a set of challenges, they give you a set of gear related to that challenge set, so that kind of cheapens it. Like I don't know if they're going to be doing new gear sets.
As I see it, it's taking the things that you have to play for and giving them to you for money. And,
I'm going to put it akin to any sort of Zynga game.
Yeah.
That they
The king of microtransactions.
exactly. King of microtransactions. That if you can play the game, you can play it for free, and you can play all right. But if you want to do well and you want to complete these missions easier, you should give us some money, and we'll give you. I mean, the equivalent of bitcoins at this point.
Yeah.
So I am firmly opposed to, just for how Halo is. They have those challenge sets, and that kind of
they have that stuff already built in.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and now they're going to try to add in microtransactions to it. And
basically,
the article
the ability to get around those challenges.
Exactly, and I can kind of understand doing it at this point for Halo 4, which is what the article is about. It's talking about adding it into Halo 4, because Halo 4's been out for how long now?
It was out since Christmas of 2012.
Yeah, so it's 4 or 5 months out. It's trying to do something that's for refreshing the game. If Halo 5 starts out with those microtransactions, then that kind of causes a problem with me.
And I'm just, I guess I'd say it probably will. If they're going towards it now.
Yeah, if they're going to start Halo or put it into Halo 4 now, then they're already going to have it integrated into Halo 5.
Most likely, at least.
And obviously Halo 6, because I mean this is all they for 343 Studios got billed for a three game 10-year deal.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a Halo 4, 5. We're gonna have.
Here's an interesting idea. If they were to make it so that you could buy into getting better stuff, something that I would find to be a good option would be make it so you have to be at a certain point in the game before you can actually go back and buy stuff.
I think that would
buy
be very
a specific
good.
thing. Yeah.
Well, what was it? Black Ops, the first Black Ops introduced um, the money system essentially, where
Hmm.
you get money in the game to buy your guns. It's not level progression,
Yeah.
um, and you could buy the guns and stuff that way. And then Halo 4 also did it with I can't remember what the term they use is, but as you level up, you get points that you can use towards unlocking abilities, unlocking
Yeah.
weapons. I think that is a very solid um, way to do those sorts of games where your multiplayer
Yeah.
has to progressively go.
Mm.
Um,
Make it so you have to work for it, but you can still
exactly.
buy it.
So I think microtransactions would be acceptable in the fashion that you're talking about, Grave,
Yeah.
where it's
Like, I mean,
you
they
have to
still give
unlock a
you the
certain
ability
point,
to. Hmm.
where you have to unlock it to a certain point before you can
Yeah.
make those purchases.
Yeah. But
I think
like,
that's probably a good way.
I know in Halo Reach, that's the last of the Halo series I played around with.
Hmm.
Um, you were able to buy, like, not really buy, but there was points where you could get. I think it was armor. Not
Yeah,
really.
different armor
But
sets and stuff.
you had to get to a certain point to unlock it, and if you were to make it so you still had a point system where you earn points, but you were still able to buy them and all that stuff to get more from that tier.
Mm.
That's kind of what I'm thinking would be a good one.
I think that I mean, going back to the Activision one, having those things where they aren't doing it just to make themselves money.
Yeah,
I would fully support those sorts of things.
yeah, definitely.
Doing it for charity. Um, Definitely would be a little bit better.
Yeah.
But people that just shouldn't be money grubbing whores like EA.
Hey, there you go. Good
EA
one.
is likely to win the worst company in America title for the second year in a row. It is one of 32 companies, quote unquote, competing for worst company in America by the Consumerists magazine or digital blog or whatever it is. Um, and apparently, I need to, I kind of want to read into this a little bit more. Apparently, they're doing it in a March Madness style brackets where they're facing off against a specific company. I guess in the first round they're going up against Albin Bev. I don't even know what that ABN Bev.
Oh,
It's Anheuser Busch International
yeah.
Beverage Company or something. Um,
So lots of beer.
they merged with a German or European company that also does beverages, and I guess that's what their new name is. AB and Bev.
That
Um,
no.
that they produce Corona, Stella Artois, and Budweiser, among other beer brands.
Yeah.
But I guess they're facing off who's the worst between those two, which kind of makes sense. I mean, that's not a
Yeah.
bad way of doing it. Instead of just like, okay, these are the 32 worst people, worst companies, that we're putting up against,
Is
and
this
then
like
choosing just one.
put them on the spot so they'll fix their act or something?
No, I think it's just
Mm.
A joke?
pointing. Yeah, it's pointing out. Okay, you have this, and because this isn't the company like the consumerists isn't doing this. It's not like an inner office thing where they're choosing.
No,
It is a fan community vote um, that they go through the brackets. It's like, okay, you have 32 teams, 32 companies, so you have 16 brackets, and it's like, okay, we're picking off in this first round. You pick 16 that you think are the worst in their pair, and then it
Yeah.
progressively goes down. Like I said, March Madness sort of bracket system
yeah.
is what it sounds like they're doing. Other
Yeah.
companies in the mix are Apple,
Yes.
Ticketmaster,
What?
Walmart, and Bank of America.
Oh
I
God.
didn't hear the second one.
The second one was Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster. Yes.
Um, Last year, the consumerists named EA the 2012 worst company in America after beating out Bank of America in the final round to take home the quote-unquote Golden Poo award.
I wonder
I'm
if they
sorry.
actually sent them an award.
They probably
Uh,
did.
That
I'm
would
sure that
be
they probably did.
It would have got immediately thrown out, but
Yeah, and it's amusing that this is all coming out after SimCity's
yeah,
hugely failed launch.
yeah.
Actually, about the Golden Poo Award,
Yes.
they would probably try to put it in a game.
Oh God.
They would think this is genius. Let's
If they
put it in
put
a
it
game.
in Battlefield 4, I think that would be amazing.
Oh
Because
God, making
the
fun of
Battlefield series, they
themselves.
do a lot of Easter eggs.
Yeah,
The Battlefield series, they do a lot of Easter eggs, so it'd be kind of amusing to do
kind of
the
making fun
Golden
of
Poo Award.
themselves in their own game.
Yeah.
Um,
Or you
and
could
you know
have,
what?
or better yet, in SimCity, you could have a Great Works that is a giant Golden Poo statue,
I
and
would
it could
buy
be
that
like
DLC.
one of those arcology.
Archaeology, yeah.
No, not archaeology, arcology, like the
Oh.
arcs.
Oh yeah, the big arcs. Yeah.
Yeah, because they had those in SimCity 2000. I remember what those are.
Yes.
That was the last SimCity that I played.
I gotta say, SimCity, awesome game. EA, horrible company.
Yeah, well, I mean, it never was argued that SimCity would be a very poor game. It is poorly run by EA.
Yes.
Maxis is a good company, good guy Maxis. You know,
No. It's not even Good Guy Maxis anymore. They teamed up with EA.
Nah, but I mean, Maxis produced a quality game. EA
Yeah.
steered it into the shitter.
Okay, I'm gonna list mini games that
Okay.
EA screwed over with Maxis.
Just stop,
4.
stop while you're behind.
SimCity 1, SimCity 2, SimCity 2000,
Kick him from the
SimCity
call.
4.
Ay, madre.
I don't have a transition for this. Starcraft Ghost, a Blizzard employee has said, was never officially canceled. Starcraft Ghost was a third-person shooter game that was supposed to be released back in 2006, I think, but marred by several development companies that could not produce the game to Blizzard's standard. They just kind of put it on the back burner. Originally, it was supposed. Oh no, I'm way off on my years. It was originally supposed to be released in 2002.
Holy crap.
And supposed to be playable for PlayStation 2 and GameCube and the original Xbox.
I find that hilarious. GameCube.
Yeah,
It's a long time since you heard games.
it's a long time. And it's changed several hands since then, and put on hold in 2006 was my correction.
Yeah.
But I think I would play it.
It'd be interesting.
I don't know that it would end up being a game that would be like a full title release, like doing how StarCraft is, but have it be, something available to download online.
Yeah.
Does Blizzard doesn't have as like its own I mean, it has Battle.net, but it doesn't really have like its own store. Sort of company, does it?
So I don't think so.
Actually, you know what? It
think-
does have an online store. It's not like an in-game store though, or like you can buy
But I
games
mean, like,
off of it.
is it? I'm looking for something similar, equivalent to Steam or Origin.
No, they don't have that. It's a web browser-based thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't have to play it through any sort of thing. Because I would say
No.
if they would do it as a digital download exclusive, I think that it would probably do well. I don't know, pushing it to a full retail release would be in their best interest should they decide to pursue it. But
Yeah.
I when I originally heard about this was very excited about it because I'm a big fan. I was a big fan of StarCraft. Little known fact, I used to be a staff writer, well not a staff, but volunteer writer for several StarCraft related websites, including SC Nation, which I don't think they do anything anymore. I'm actually curious if they do. I'm gonna go into their website and see. Nope, it's an empty page now.
Nice. So all that work gone.
Yeah. Well, let me just. I'm curious. I want to see if there's if I just have the website wrong. Nope.
All right. Well, about that
Well, no.
transition. Good luck finding one for this one.
Yeah. Pandora, the wonderful music website that you can listen to free music and get radio stations, has
For
hit
free.
200 million users.
Yeah, not really
Is that
much to
200,
say about this one.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot to say. I use it in Pandora.
Yeah.
I've used it today. I have it on my phone.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Pandora, I heard from one person, was possibly the best internet service that they've ever used, and I'd have to agree with them. I mean, they have good service, they have very good interface, and to be perfectly honest, it's a really good program to use. So
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, because you can. I have several stations that I have set up, and the plus. All you need is a plus or a thumbs up, a thumbs down. It's like, yes,
exactly.
I like this type of music. No, I don't like that music. Yes, I like this music. No, I don't like that music. And honestly, it's gotten to the point where some of my radio stations, it's like, I can't find a single song that I dislike.
Exactly.
Or that I would want to skip. It's like, oh yeah, that's really good. I even have a radio station that has started to. That's like a more modern music. I think the original basis of it was Lincoln Park or Fort Minor or something like that. And it started to pull in music from 60s and 70s, like original rock and stuff.
Nice.
And I was really pleased with that. I was just like, way to go, Pandora.
Yep. Pandora is
a really... Too often.
Sorry, I was just going to say Pandora is really, really good in... They have obviously really good coders on their team that can write programs to say, okay, they like this, let's analyze this, and say, oh yeah, that's like that, so put it in the playlist, see if they like it. If they don't, try something else. It's a really good system that they have.
Yeah, like I was going to say, it's not too often you hear... It still happens, but it's not very often anymore that if you filter through the songs that are playing, you'll get stuff that you don't like. I mean, every now and again it's going to happen, but if you filter through it anymore, it used to be, I remember hearing people complaining about it, just pulling random crap. But it, like now...
I'll have to see if I can find the XKCD comic and put it in the link dump of... they did a bubble, overflow chart little thing. I can't remember what it's called. Where you have two separate groups and they have this intersecting section.
Oh, a Venn diagram.
A Venn diagram. Thank you. The one that's one of us that's still in school. That it was music that I like, music that is embarrassing to listen to, and in the middle of the Venn diagram was music that Pandora plays when other people are around.
Yeah. That fits pretty well.
It used to be pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, recently, no problems with it. It's really good.
Yep.
Other things that are really good, for Banjo anyways, Jeb tweeted that horses are likely for Minecraft 1.6 update after the game has passed 10 million PC sales.
Yeah.
Just so you know, the only reason I said I wanted horses was because I saw that tweet.
Oh, okay.
But they actually are a really cool idea for Minecraft, because think of it, you don't have to have rails, you don't have to have any kind of thing in your hand to drive them around, and
it'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
I'm not gonna say whether I think it's gonna be good or bad until I see how they work out, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it could go either way really easily.
Really easily.
Yeah. It's something like what you were saying about Banjo, where you wouldn't need rails and stuff. Yeah. I will if I ever do hook up a rail system to something, because I don't have anything except for one in my house, I don't see them ever replacing rails.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying
for travel. I mean,
for travel, for adventuring.
Roam, yes, that's nice. Yeah, adventuring. Yeah, that. Just from point A to point B, I don't know. And rail seems like it's probably gonna be more stable unless they, really
say
optimize them. But
like early game where you don't have enough iron to make a rail to someone else's house.
I think it'd be neat to have the horses be able to jump over obstacles.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then that people would make like equestrian competitions where they jump over fences and stuff. I think that would be pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I would put that on my island.
I would help you with that.
I would tame the horses. Anyway, it's
tame them, right.
It's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be interesting until they actually come out. But I'm kind of excited to see them. Yeah, I'm just excited to see them.
Yeah.
And if I remember right, this is one of the things that they've been throwing around about adding for a long time.
It was one of Notch's original ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's been around, and I'm apprehensive. We'll see how it ends up being
Yeah,
implemented.
like I said, I'm not going either way on it till I see how they play out, rather.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we might go snapshot if it ends up being okay.
Yeah.
Well, if it's stable, that's all
Yeah.
we really care
That's
about.
the big thing.
Yeah, stable snapshots. Get working on it. Get working on it, Dernbone.
Do
Yeah.
now.
Do now. Stable snapshots. Um, this one I
Next.
saw the other day, and I could not help but just like facepalm at this happening. A Microsoft employee, one of their creative directors, says deal with it about always on Xbox 720 for the next gen Xbox, that
Yeah.
it's going to require always on internet connectivity, just like the fail that is SimCity.
Yeah. I don't think it's actually been confirmed
It
that they're
hasn't been
going to
confirmed.
do that,
I mean,
but they're more or less saying, yeah.
yeah,
when an
he had a,
employee says deal with it, you can be fairly rest assured that it's gonna happen.
yeah. I don't know if they have it in the full discussion and all of his tweets in the article, but I saw the picture that had all of his tweets and his back and forth with the gentleman from another game developer. Who was it? Manveer Hare from BioWare. I saw all of the guy's name's Adam Orth. He's a creative director for Microsoft. He put on his Twitter account responding to things about the always-on possibility of Xbox 720, the next gen, and he had a back and forth with the gentleman from BioWare, and the comment that Manveer Air put out was, "Did you learn nothing from Diablo 3 or SimCity? You know some people's internet goes out, right? Deal with it is a shitty reason."
That's true.
Um,
I'm not a I don't agree with the always on, because yeah, my internet goes out too sometimes. It's just a thing that you have to deal with. I mean, companies, internet providers can't always have internet on, and you can't always have internet on, and it would be nice to have an option where you don't have to. But I'm not saying
hoping
that
that it
games
works
are
out.
bad because of it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it works out to be. It works better with the internet on,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it's not required to start the thing.
yeah, no, I cannot understand it for the life of me. Like, I understand the concept of having always on, and I know that they're probably just trying to protect themselves by, so that people can't have, modded Xboxes or hacked Xboxes or anything like that. They're trying to protect themselves from it, but your fan base is going to go insane.
It's
Some
gonna
people,
die. Well, it's not gonna die, but it's gonna go downhill.
it's not going to die, but you're going to lose a significant percentage of people to PlayStation 4, which has confirmed that it will not have always
Exactly.
on.
That's gonna be one of the big turning points, I guess you could
Like
say.
I am like safe to say, if it ends up being always on, I'm probably gonna just swear off of Xbox and just use that money that I would buy for a new Xbox and put it towards, improving my PC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I gotta say that always on, like you'd mentioned, or the guy had mentioned, or whatever in the article, that SimCity and Diablo 3, those games are awesome. The only horrible part about them is that, yeah, you have to have them always on. Now, I've played both SimCity and Diablo.
Diablo 3.
Diablo 3. They're both really good games, and yeah, they do have really heavy multiplayer aspects, but you don't have to always. You shouldn't have to always have it online.
I will point out a problem that I had before this whole always on discussion even happened, of something that had happened in Black Ops, the original Black Ops, because they included something that was relatively new to the Call of Duty franchise, which was a training mode that you could play against bots. It required you to be connected to Xbox Live in order to play against bots.
What?
They were high.
You have to connect to Xbox Live to be able to access that feature. You can't do it locally.
That's odd.
Yeah, and that was
Yeah, it doesn't
something
make
like
a lot of sense.
I personally don't play much, first person shooters anymore. And the other day I just was having a bad day. I wanted to go on and, kill
Shoot
some
something.
bots.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, can't connect to Xbox Live. You have to have these updates. Okay, well, I'll do these updates then. Fine. Because I know that I can't play the game. I can't kill the bots and play the training mode unless I'm connected to the internet. Now that seems freaking stupid. It's the
Yeah.
same. It's the same thing with any sort of other Xbox game, or with Diablo 3 or with SimCity. Yes, there's better aspects if you do it multiplayer. There's different things that you can do. There's obviously a lot more game modes because with the bots, the only game modes you can do are team deathmatch, hardcore team deathmatch, free for all, and hardcore free for all. Because the bots don't know how to capture objectives.
Yeah.
They didn't want to have to
They
code
can't
that in.
strategy.
Exactly. They don't want to have to code that in. So games like, SimCity, you can play those games by yourself. You can have an entire region to yourself and just play it that way. But doing it in
Nope.
multiplayer, you get a lot more better things, and then you can interact with other people. Same thing with Call of Duty. But why the fuck do you have to have it always on? It just makes no sense to me.
Yeah. It's going to be a big discussion topic for a long time until they do something to fix it.
Until they confirm it or say that it's going to not happen.
Yeah.
Now, I actually have to throw something out there, too.
Go for it.
U.S. internet is like 10 years behind Europe.
Behind Europe or behind...
Europe.
Really?
Like, yeah. Our internet is about... let's see. I get... What are you guys' internet plans? What?
I don't even know. My wife pays for everything. I think maybe 3 or 4 megabits per second.
Megabits per second? Okay. In Sweden, you can get 10 gigabits per second. Exactly.
Yeah.
And Google Fiber is the only internet provider we have in the U.S. that does that.
They do 1 gigabit.
Really? Really?
Fiber,
I could have sworn.
Fiber is 1 gigabit, up and down.
Let me look.
Whoa.
The last time I looked, and that was obviously a couple months ago, but they offered 1 gigabit up and down. But you also have to think of how big the U.S. is, the population density.
Yeah.
That is true.
Because, I mean, what's the population of Sweden versus what the population of the entire United States is?
It's very compact. It's a lot of people in a small space, I can tell you that.
But it's not 300-something million people.
No. But you also have to understand that even they have government-provided internet, and we have company-provided internet.
Their tax rate is also 77%, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But think of it this way: people there are happy.
People there are also very well armed. I like to point that out too.
Yes, but I'm just saying that we are way behind. And
I don't disagree, but I mean it's. The U.S. is already fucked up. We know this. It's not a point of reference.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you got a chance to watch this yet, Banjo, or if you've already seen it on your own.
I don't think I have.
The Purge movie trailer. I saw this as an ad on YouTube, and I thought it was fucking amazing. I think the concept of the movie is very interesting. I did look at the comments on for the one that I linked. The comments on it, everybody is pointing out, that all of the people in the trailer are white, except for the one guy that they're hunting, who is black. And the comments were just a flurry with things about this being a racial movie. And it's like, no, it's not. It's just, it happens that this guy's black.
Oh my god.
I mean,
that's
obviously
not the concept of the movie.
But you have to also take into consideration, why did they choose a black character for that part? Obviously we haven't seen the movie, it hasn't come out yet, so we don't know what the entire cast of characters is. If there is, other black characters that are in the raiding party essentially that's featured in the trailer, to give an overview of what the movie is about.
Yeah, because Banjo's
The
probably confused.
the
Actually,
United
I'm looking at IMDb.
Okay.
okay.
And the description is if on one night every year you could commit any crime without facing consequences, what would you do? Over the course of a single night, a family will be tested how far they will go to protect themselves when the vicious outside worlds break into their homes.
Um,
Um,
the concept of the
it
movie is the United States has officially adopted a 1 day, 12-hour event called the Purge. And it's essentially allowing everyone in the US to do whatever the fuck they want to get it out of their systems. And
Yeah.
it is everything is legal. There is no emergency services. So there's no police, no fire, no hospitals. Everything is done. Everything's gone. They all lock up. All crime is legal for 12 hours, so you can do whatever you want. The reason I wanted to include this in the podcast is because one, I think it looks like it's going to be a really good movie, and
yeah
two, it kind of pulls back to our checkpoint question that we had several
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
That if you had 12 hours to do anything that's legal, what would you do? And people are obviously in the trailer are obviously going to go, fuck some
They go
shit up.
batshit insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it
this
looks like a really cool idea for a movie.
Yeah.
and the
It,
family that's there is, they lock themselves in. They got steel shutters all over their doors and windows and
Mm.
everything. Their way of doing it is we're locking ourselves in. We don't have these sorts of feelings. We're fine not doing anything. We're gonna do
yeah.
what we always do and just stay at home, not let
Yep.
anybody deal with us.
If they wanted to do something, they're free to, but nah, I'm gonna just not die.
Exactly. I'm not gonna run it, run the chance.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be a very good movie.
Yeah.
One of the things that also was in the comments was the thumbnail for the video is two people in masks standing at the door looking, and it's looking at them through the peephole of the door. And a lot of people were asking in the comments, if everything's legal, why are people wearing masks?
Yeah.
And I can
Probably so people can't kill you afterwards.
well, but you go to jail and you get executed or whatever.
Yeah.
Everything still laws apply if you kill somebody, even if they did something during the purge, and you kill them after the purge.
But you have to think of it this way: revenge.
Yeah.
You don't care what happens to
well-
you if you just get revenge.
I'm
No,
thinking.
I understand that, but
Going off of a theory here, I'm betting that all of the other laws that aren't, well, all of the laws are basically maximally enforced outside the purge. It just is a guess.
it's
'Cause
possible. It's
That would make more sense.
It would. I do have what would be my opinion, probably the best answer, which would be yes, everything is legal, but there are still taboos. There's still
Yeah.
things that you shouldn't do. There's still things that if people knew you did, they would hold it against you.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you might be a target for the next purge in a year. If somebody finds out that, you raped a 14-year-old girl, even though it was technically legal because it was during the purge, that's fucked up and people are going to hate you for it.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go kill somebody, you're wearing the mask not to protect your identity from the police, but from your neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That to me seems like the most likely explanation as to why
Yeah.
people in the trailer are wearing masks as they commit these crimes.
It's very well possible. It could have been their next door neighbor in the masks.
Exactly.
Honestly. Because like at the beginning of the trailer, it's all happy, joy. It could have been one of the people they were talking to in the beginning of the trailer who's at their door. Hey, you want to kill that guy you have?
Yeah, exactly. But the whole conflict in the movie arises because the family shuts their doors for the duration of the purge, and some guy, the black gentleman that's in the trailer, runs up and like pounding on the door, let me in, please, let me in. And he's already covered in blood. He's obviously been attacked, and I think it's the son opens the door
That's
for
what it
him.
looked like, at least.
And the dad and the mom are just like, leave it alone, let it pass. We'll be fine. We just have to stay safe. We have to stay safe. And the son disagrees, opens the door, lets him in, and they shut the door in after him. against the parents' protest. The guy disappears inside the house, I guess, at some point.
That's what it looks like,
Um,
at least.
and so, but the people that were hunting him know that he's there. So now
Yeah.
they have essentially declared war on this family because they aren't giving the guy up.
Okay, wait. So back to the thing where it was, why did they choose a black guy? Probably because the characters in the movie are racist.
It's possible.
It's very well
I mean,
possible that
it's
as
possible
well.
if they have, you know, hate against a certain race, then why not take it out in this 12-hour period where everything's legal?
Yeah.
And they can get away
I
with
mean,
it.
it very well could be something else, like this guy did something during the last event.
Yeah,
And
that
There could
too.
be any number of things.
Yeah.
I do have one glaring problem that I have with the family security system. It is
Mhm.
a touchscreen with with two buttons, open
Yeah.
and close, or excuse me, arm and disarm.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you have two goddamn buttons? Where is a password for this bitch?
Yeah.
Why is it that you press the arm button, you press your little pin in, your kids don't know the fucking pin, so they can pound on the disarm button all they want, but if they don't know the pin, then the doors stay fucking locked.
You would think, but
You
no.
would think, with all of this technology, that they can basically, you know, as they put it say it for tanks, button up. You're closing yourself off completely. You're buttoning up. Why would you have just two goddamn buttons and no like pin code or something?
And
Or
I'm the
voice
one that
recognition.
races.
Voice recognition. The dad has to say button up, and it'll close, or something. God,
Or something.
it makes no goddamn sense.
Simple logic. Common sense
Simple
isn't
logic,
used
but
anymore.
I mean, obviously they wouldn't have much of a movie
Yeah.
if they did that. They also, somebody in the comments said, well, if they're going to have the Purge, why don't they just go to Canada for the day? Well, then it wouldn't be a movie about it if they did. It'd be a short goddamn movie of their drive to Canada the day before the Purge happens. Sorry, boss, we're taking a vacation day to drive to Canada.
Yeah.
But overall, just watching the trailer, I am very excited about this movie. I look forward to it coming out. I'm definitely going to go see it in theaters. And watch pirated copies.
Looks shiftily from side to side.
Why would you not want to watch digital copy or downloaded copies? Because Google is evil and it will find you. I didn't read this article, so I don't.
Okay, I'll go through
Grave
it.
put it up as evil Google, so I don't know what evil Google is doing.
It's not related to Google, kind of. Basically, there's a website up called what is
Shodun.
it? Shodun, yeah. And the way this site works works on the same concept as Google, whereas you can search for stuff. But instead of looking for websites, it searches for devices.
Cameras and devices, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, the examples that they're giving here is if you were to search in, say, New York City traffic cam, if it was actually labeled in the camera that it was a New York City traffic cam, you'd be able to watch right through it if you knew what you were doing. Basically, this website, Shodun, allows you to get into if you know how to bypass the security in it, which normally there isn't that much security on devices like this, if you know how to get into that, you can access a lot of devices that you really shouldn't.
Oh wow! I'm looking at the article. Shodan searchers have found control systems for a water park, a gas station, a hotel wine cooler, and a crematorium.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity researchers have even located command and control systems for nuclear power plants and a particle accelerating cyclotron.
I am
by
scared
using
now.
Shodan. I am. That's insane.
You see why I labeled this evil Google?
Gotcha. No, I misinterpreted it. It's the evil version of Google, not
Yeah,
that Google is evil.
No. Google is
wow.
kind of evil, but no.
That's insane.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, kind of as a side note on this article, it's saying Shodan's site was slow to load on Monday following this publication.
Oh, I'm sure.
I wonder why.
Well, I mean, you could. there was ways that you could, just with Google, you could put in a certain search algorithm. I think Household Hackers was one of the people that published it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you could put in certain order of things in, and it would find webcams for you.
Yeah.
And
But
typically they had no controls. I admittedly dicked around with one a while back. When I had first found it out, I had myself and another person in a chat room, and we were talking about it, and I showed him one, and it was a New York City dock
nice.
along the river that had a movable security camera, and we could access the interface in order to move it. And so I was just like, here, watch this. Don't touch anything. Watch this. And so I go onto the controls and I tell it to move left 4 times, and it moves left 4 times, 4 little clicks. And then a minute goes by, and then moves back. The person at the controls obviously noticed that it had moved, and it moved it back. So I set up an auto clicker to automatically click it to make it point down. And about 5 minutes after I did this, and it was still clicking it down, I think it turned it off after a couple of minutes, but it was the relay for it was so slow that it was still pointing down. About 5 minutes after I do this, I see on the camera that there's somebody has gone outside with another person, and they have a flashlight pointed up at where the camera is, trying to figure out why it's just pointing down. Trying to see if maybe the frame got bent or something. A seagull landed on it and turned it. And then they go back in, and finally they move it back up, and I was like, okay, I better get off of here before somebody tries to see what's
Track your IP.
Yeah, see if somebody's trying to backdoor it. So it's just like, that's pretty damn funny. There's another one that was somebody's estate in England that you could access all 16 of his cameras, his wireless cameras placed all over his estate.
Wow.
Wonderful.
And I say estate, but it for compared to my apartment, and it'd be about the size of my parents' home, and they live on an entire acre of land.
Yeah.
In England, that's a fair bit of land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had 16 cameras all over his house and outside, and you could go watch every single one of them.
Yeah. And this website basically gives you the ability to find them really quickly and really easily.
To find them easier without using that search algorithm.
Yeah.
So that's kind of scary.
Speaking of scary good prices.
What?
Speaking of scary good prices.
Speaking of
God.
What?
Your worst transitions to Nazareth is. Come on, man.
Well, that says a lot.
I'm trying here.
The tech company Crucial has released or announced that it's going to have a 1 terabyte solid state hard drive for less than $1 per gigabyte.
Oh my god.
Which is insane.
Oh my god.
It's going to be a $599 suggested retail price for a 1 terabyte solid state drive. And that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like
comparatively at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be, $1,000 for what, like 250 gigs?
Yeah, exactly.
And now it's down to that. I mean, you can still get
getting better and better.
You can still get a terabyte non-solid state, just regular disk drive for $80, but this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, it's really technology is getting to the point where it's getting really cheap to get really good stuff.
I mean, we can hack into security cameras with a search engine. We can get $500 terabyte solid state. It's amazing.
Yeah. So that is. I thought this should have been probably up in the honorable mentions.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really good for all things considered.
Yeah. And I'm thinking back. Okay, solid state drives are approximately the size of a credit card usually.
Yeah. 2.5 inches. Usually.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Think you can hold, now a terabyte on that, whereas, whenever computers first started developing,
I
5
actually
meg
have
was the size of a room.
Yeah.
I actually have an old. This is like my prized possession. I have the original Apple, like
Oh,
one of
good
the
God.
original, like one of the original apples, because my
You know what we
grandpa.
used to call those in my high school? Chairs.
Computer, yes. Uh, it's it was it has, I think, 5 megs on it.
Yeah, and that was a lot.
That was like, oh my god, guys, we have a 5 meg computer,
Yeah.
so much space. What will we store on it?
Yeah, what could we ever possibly use for
And
that?
now
Let's
I
see, I
have
can't fit anything on that.
now we have terabytes, and it's not enough.
No, not
Yeah.
nearly.
You can never have enough memory.
I'm if I hadn't just cleaned off, both my internal and external hard drives, I would probably be like, yeah, I need to buy a new hard drive. These ones are all full up. Okay. Of course, you'd say no, but and I'd be at the point where I am now, which is cleaned it off.
Yeah.
So I have
You skipped a step.
yeah, exactly. I save myself having to ask.
Yeah.
Well, the hard drive. Actually, the funny thing is, the hard drive that I have right now was not an approved purchase. It was a good price. It was on sale, and I was just like, okay, coming home with me.
Good thing the wife ain't home to hear this.
Yeah, she is at work. So, no, she knows. My wife knows me better than I know myself sometimes.
Which is actually, when you think about it, one of the scariest things ever.
But oh well. Well, we're running right at about an hour.
Yeah,
Man,
that was
right out of time.
Yeah,
that was pretty good for.
a lot better than our performance last week.
Oh,
Oh,
God. Yeah.
Where we tried to
Wednesdays.
record on a Wednesday, and I tried to get it uploaded on a Wednesday, and that just was not happening.
No.
Yeah.
So hopefully everybody enjoyed all of our discussion topics. If you guys have questions, please submit them, because we haven't had any questions for this stupid thing. Come on, send us questions. If you guys have questions about us, or about the server, or about the podcast, let us know. Put it in the comment, or send us an email. It is MineSanity. I can't remember
Network?
the email. MineSanity Network at
public
Gmail, or MineSanityLP@Gmail. Either one will
You
work.
could do private message to any of us, really.
Yeah, private
Yeah.
message on YouTube. That's also an easy way. If you haven't
Links
subscribed,
down below.
links down below.
And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to hit that button, and we'll see you next week. And goodbye.
Grave, final thoughts? Please say
Later.
something besides later.
No. Later.
God damn it! I hate
If
you.
I had something else to say, I might say it.
Yeah,
I mean,
just-
my long
Shut
drawn
up!
out
Shut up!
explanation-
Shut up! Shut up! You had your
Aw.
moment, Brandon. Go.
And we're now cruising at a rough 16,000 feet.
And thank you